The girl in the wreckage, the desert was silent. Only the wind moved hot, dry, and full of dust. But then, something broke the sky. A silver light shot across the clouds like a dying star. It screamed. It burned. And then, boom! The ship hit the ground, shaking the earth. Fire burst into the sky. Metal flew in every direction. It was a crash. And it was bad. Kai saw the light from far away. He was a mechanic in a small human colony called Emberline. Not a soldier, not a doctor. Just a guy who fixed broken machines. But when something fell from the stars, people always called Kai. Within an hour, a scout team brought him to the crash site. The ship had torn through the sand like a blade. Smoke rose into the air. The outer shell was black, cracked, and glowing in places. "This isn't one of ours," said one of the scouts. Kai nodded. He had never seen a design like this before. It was alien, but not like anything in the colony records. Smooth lines, silver bones, and strange symbols across the hull. "Any survivors?" Kai asked. "Only one." Inside the wreck, they led him inside. The ship creaked and hissed as it cooled. Lights flickered. Sparks danced from broken panels. And then he saw her. She was lying against a wall, half covered in wires. A girl not human, but close. Her skin had a faint bluish tint. Her hair was silver white and tangled. She looked young, maybe his age. Maybe younger. Her left leg was twisted at a bad angle. Blood stained the floor under it. But her face looked calm. Too calm. "She passed out not long after we pulled her free," the medic said. "Won't wake up. Nothing we do helps." Kai stepped closer. He didn't know why, but something pulled him in. He knelt beside her. Her skin had a soft glow, almost like moonlight. Her leg, yes, it was broken. But something was wrong with the wound. He reached out and gently pulled back the cloth, wrapped around it. That's when he saw it. Not just bone under the skin. Near the edge of the break was light, not blood, not muscle, not bone, but a thin blue glow, like lines drawn under her flesh. He blinked. "What is that?" He whispered. He reached out and carefully touched her leg, just to clean the blood. Maybe help set it right. The moment his hand made contact, thump. A soft vibration pulsed under his fingers. Her skin shimmered. Thump, thump, the glow grew brighter. Then her eyes opened. She wakes, they were bright violet. Too bright, and wide with shock. She grabbed his wrist, not hard, but fast. He froze. "Easy," he said gently. "You're hurt. I'm not going to. Don't fix me." Her voice was weak, but firm. Kai's mouth went dry. "What do you mean?" She let go of his wrist and turned her face away. "It's not broken," she whispered. "It's sealed." Kai looked down at the glowing lines again. They pulsed with a strange rhythm, like they were alive. "That's not medical tech," he muttered to himself. She didn't answer. She had already passed out again. The warning back at the colony clinic. The medics tried to treat her leg. Nothing worked. Their tools wouldn't cut it. Their scans came back blank. It was like her body rejected help. Kai stood outside the room, staring at the data. The scan showed lines, circuit shapes, woven deep into her bones. "What kind of species has circuits in their leg?" One nurse whispered. "She's not on any known registry," another said. "Maybe black market biotech? A runaway experiment?" Kai stayed silent. He kept thinking about her words. "Don't fix me." Final cliffhanger that night. He sat alone in his workshop. Staring at a small piece of tech, he pulled from the wreck something shaped like a coin, but smooth and cold. He turned it over in his fingers. The symbols on it were the same as the ones on her skin. Suddenly, the coin lit up in his hand, just like her leg did. He dropped it. And from the floor, It began to hum. He stared at it and whispered, "What are you?" The strange coin-shaped tech hummed quietly on Kai's workbench. Its glow pulsed in the dark, soft blue. Alive. Kai didn't sleep that night. He kept staring at the device, trying to make sense of it. It had no buttons, no controls. But when he had touched it, it came to life. Just like the alien girl's leg. The same blue light. The same feeling like something old had opened its eyes. "This can't be normal alien tech," Kai muttered. He tried scanning it with his tools. Nothing. The scanner screen stayed blank. Dead. He sighed and leaned back. "Why did you say not to fix you?" He whispered to no one. But he wasn't alone. She was awake. The door behind him creaked. Kai turned. She stood in the doorway barefoot, wrapped in a loose medical robe, her silver hair still messy from the crash. Her injured leg touched the floor carefully, but she didn't limp the way she moved. It was quiet, controlled, almost too perfect. Her violet eyes focused on the glowing coin. "Where did you find it?" she asked softly. "It fell out of your shipwreck. It lit up when I touched it," Kai replied. She stepped closer, her voice low. "Don't touch it again. That's not tech. That's a key." Kai frowned. "A key to what?" She hesitated. "To what I was supposed to become." Sarathat was the first time she said her name. "Sarah," she said. "My name is Sarah." Kai introduced himself, keeping his voice calm. "I'm Kai. I fix things usually." "You shouldn't fix me," she said again, more serious this time. Kai looked at her leg. The glow had faded now, but in the dark he could still see the faint lines under her skin. "What is that thing inside you?" he asked. She sat down slowly across from him. "It was put there before I was born. My people didn't build it. They found it. Inside a buried ship, older than anything known." She touched her leg lightly. "They fused it to my bones. To ease it, to use it. But they didn't understand. The failed escape." Sarah told him the truth. She had escaped from a hidden base where scientists, not warriors, had studied her like an object. Her leg wasn't broken in the crash. It had begun to react during her escape. When the pain came, I knew I had to run, she said, because pain is the first sign the device is waking. Kai asked, "Waking for what?" Sarah looked at him with tired eyes. "For war." A strange connection. Kai leaned forward. "But it didn't wake when you were running. It started when I touched you." Sarah went quiet. Then she nodded. "That's why I'm afraid." She looked at his hand. "You activated it." "Not fully, but enough for it to notice." "Notice me?" Kai asked. "Yes. That means it likes you." He laughed nervously. "That's not a good thing, is it?" "No," she said. "It means it may leave me and bond with you." Flash memory. Suddenly, Sarah's body stiffened. Her eyes glowed blue for a second. She clutched her leg and gasped. Kai reached to help her, then paused. "Should I touch?" "You or not? You already did," she whispered. "And now, you're part of it too." Her body trembled. Her voice changed, echoing with something deeper inside her. Kai. His name echoed like metal in water. "I'm seeing your memories." She was glowing now, hands, eyes, leg, the whole room lit with cold light. "Stop," Kai said. "You're going to hurt yourself." "No," Sarah whispered. "I'm not in control anymore." Cliffhanger. Ending suddenly, a loud beep came from the colony alert system. Kai's wall screen lit up red. Unknown vessel entering orbit, not responding to hails. He looked at Sarah. She looked terrified. "They found me," she said. "Who?" Kai asked. "The ones who built the key." Her leg pulsed again. "And they want it back." Sky over Emberline had changed. A dark shape hovered above the colony, silent, heavy, and cold. It didn't answer hails. It didn't send warnings. It simply waited. Down on the surface. Kai and Sarah watched the alert on his wall screen. Her hands trembled. Her glowing leg pulsed like a heartbeat. Is it them? Kai asked. Sarah nodded, her voice barely a whisper. Yes, it's the trackers. The ones who want her back. Sarah sat on the edge of Kai's workbench, her silver, hair falling across her face. She looked tired, older than she had before. Not by years, but by memories. I told you the weapon was old, she said. But I never told you where they found it. Kai listened quietly, deep under a dead moon, inside a ship made of glass and bone. It was sealed shut, locked from the inside. The scientists had called it Project Echo Blood, a weapon that didn't fire bullets or beams. It changed the body it bonded with. It turned hosts into something stronger, faster, and something harder to control. They didn't implant it into soldiers, Sarah said. They put it into children, ones they thought they could control. Like you, Kai whispered. She nodded. A scar with a mind the glowing. Lines on her leg weren't from the crash. They were veins of something not human. Kai looked closely. The patterns were perfect, too perfect. They didn't follow the shape of her body. They followed the shape of something hidden inside it. That's not healing, he said. That's a design. Sarah touched her leg gently. It was quiet for years, dormant. But now it's waking because you touched it. Kai frowned. Why me? Because you're not trying to use it, she said. You cared. The real danger. Kai thought for a second, then asked, So what do they want now? Sarah's voice grew cold. If they can't control me, they'll cut the weapon out and put it in someone else. And if they can't do that, they'll kill us both. Tracking signal detected. Suddenly, the coin-shaped tech on Kai's desk began to glow again. It floated up into the air. Kai backed away. Sarah stood slowly. It's scanning, she said, sending a signal back to the ship. Kai grabbed a metal clamp and slammed it onto the coin, trapping it against the table. The glow faded, but the damage was done. They know exactly where. We are now, Kai said. They already did, Sarah whispered. Now they know. You're bonded too. A shared bond. Kai didn't know what to say. He stared at his own hand, the same hand that had touched her leg. His skin looked normal, but he could feel something under it. A strange heat, a rhythm that wasn't his. What's happening to me? Sarah walked closer, gently touching his wrist. Part of the system thinks you're a host now. Can we stop it? Maybe. But if we break the connection now, you'll die. And so will I. Kai's heart raced. So what are you saying? Sarah looked him in the eyes. We're linked now, not just through the tech, but through choice. Final twist. Suddenly, the power in Kai's cabin went out. The lights died. The screens went black. Outside, a low hum began to rise. Mechanical. Deep. Kai grabbed a light and ran to the window. 3 dark figures were walking toward the colony's edge. Tall, armored, quiet. They moved like shadows. They're here, he said. Sarah nodded slowly, her face calm. They won't knock. They'll just take. Kai looked at her glowing leg. Then we don't let them. The power was out. Air in the room felt heavy. No lights, no screens. No sound except the strange humming drone coming from outside. Kai held a light in one hand and a tool in the other. His heart pounded in his chest. Sarah stood beside him, calm but alert. Her glowing leg pulsed like a slow heartbeat, blue light shining through her skin. They're not walking, she whispered. They're scanning. Kai peeked through the window. 3 tall figures like armored ghosts moved through the dust toward the colony's edge. They wore no insignias. Their helmets were smooth. No faces, no eyes. Their armor looked alive, almost breathing. Trackers? Kai asked. Yes, Sarah said. But not soldiers. Then what are they? Harvesters. The weapon inside Zira touched her leg. They don't care about me. Or you. Just what's inside me. Kai looked at her. And if they can't take it, they'll destroy the whole colony. Her voice was flat, like she'd seen this happen before. Kai clenched his jaw. Not this time. Connection deepened suddenly. Kai's hand started to tingle, the same hand that had touched Sarah's leg. A faint blue glow moved under his skin, barely visible. Sarah, he whispered. She turned, and her eyes widened. It's beginning. Kai staggered back, grabbing the table. The coin-shaped key started to float again, pulled by a force he didn't control. What's happening to me? Sarah moved to him quickly. You're connecting. The system inside me is linking with your nervous system. It thinks you're the new host. Double quotes, Kai gasped. Can I stop it? Not unless you want it to kill. You. The shared vision, the room around Kai faded. Suddenly, he was somewhere else. Dark skies, metal towers, screams in the air. Hundreds of glowing soldiers ran through fire, some like Sarah, others fully transformed. They didn't use guns. They moved faster than light, their bodies becoming weapons. Then he saw her, Sarah, standing in a glass pod, wires in her spine, crying, alone, watching war happen through her memories. Then it all disappeared. Kai gasped and fell to the floor. EHRA helped him up. You saw it? She asked softly. Kai nodded. You weren't born for this. They made you for it. They arrived. A sharp knock echoed through the metal door. 3 loud bangs, not fists, boots. There. Here, Sarah said. Her voice was flat, focused. Kai stood. We run? No, she said. We choose. He grabbed the coin-tech from the table. What happens if I press this into your leg? Sarah looked at him. It will unlock the weapon completely. And if I don't? They'll kill us before you decide. Final choice. The door exploded open, blown off its hinges. The first tracker stepped in, weapon raised. Sarah pulled Kai behind her. Don't move, the tracker's voice said, deep and robotic. Kai raised the glowing coin. 1 step closer, and I activate her. You're bluffing, the second one said. Sarah looked at Kai. He looked back. You trusted me. Now it's my turn. He pressed the coin into her leg. A sound like a heartbeat made of steel echoed in the room. Her eyes glowed. Her skin glowed. And the weapon woke up. The room filled with blue light. It poured out of Sarah's skin, her arms, her face, her glowing leg. The coin Kai pressed into her had vanished, melted into her flesh like it belonged there. The 3 armored trackers stepped back, weapons raised. She's activating, one said. Protocol Sigma, kill the host. Sarah opened her eyes, but they weren't violet anymore. They were white, pure white. The awakening, her voice came out in a soft echo. I am not your host. I am not your key. She raised her hand, and the air shimmered, like heat around it. The nearest tracker fired. But the blast never reached her. It hit an invisible wall, force field born from her own skin. Kai stood behind her, frozen in awe. Sarah? She turned toward him. Her eyes softened. A flicker of her old self remained. I'm still here, she whispered, but not for long. The battle inside Zira dropped to one knee, clutching her head. The glowing lines on her leg began crawling upward, wrapping around her side, her spine, her chest. It's trying to take full control, she said, her voice shaking. Kai rushed to her side. Fight it. I'm trying, she gasped. But it's waking everything, not just the tech. She looked at him, scared. It's waking what I was before. The real Seraph fight inside her wasn't just physical. It was memory. Pain. She remembered growing up in a lab, behind glass. She remembered the first time she saw fire, when another test subject lost control and burned a room full of doctors. She remembered choosing silence over violence, escape over power. I didn't want to become this, she whispered. Then don't, Kai said. Be who you were before. That girl is gone, she said. Kai shook his head. No, that girl helped me. That girl warned me. That girl trusted me. And she's still fighting. Kai makes a stand. The trackers charged. Kai stood up and faced them. He didn't have a weapon. He didn't need one. You want her? He said. You'll have to go through me. The nearest tracker raised a blade, but before it could move, boom, a shockwave burst from Sarah's body, knocking all three trackers off their feet. She stood again, taller now. Glowing lines covered her skin like ancient armor, but her eyes were violet again. She chose herself. I am not a weapon, she said softly. I am not a key or a host or a project. My name is Sarah, and I choose who I become. The trackers struggled to rise. Their suits sparked. Their weapons failed. They looked at her, and for the first time, they stepped back. One spoke. It bonded to both of you. That was not part of the design. Exactly, Sarah replied. That's why we're rewriting it. Cliffhanger ending. The trackers disappeared into smoke, beamed back to their ship. Defeated, but watching, Sarah fell to her knees. Exhausted. Kai caught her. You did it, he said. No, she whispered. We did. But in the distance, the black ship in orbit started glowing, charging something. Sarah's leg pulsed. Again, this time with warning. They're not done, she said. They're bringing the final protocol. The sky above the colony darkened. The ship in orbit began to glow, a red pulse across its massive surface, like a living eye opening. For the first time, Sarah and Kai stood outside the shelter, staring at it. They're preparing the final protocol, Sarah said. If they can't take the weapon, they'll destroy the planet. Kai looked up. Can you stop it? She shook her head. Not alone. The system inside me is still torn. Half of it wants to fight. The other half wants to sleep again. And what do you want? He asked. She turned to him. To live, as me, not as a weapon. The choice of a machine. Suddenly, a sharp pain flashed through Kai's arm. The glow returned stronger than ever. The lines that once shimmered faintly beneath his skin now burned like fire, crawling up toward his shoulder. It's moving again, Kai said through clenched teeth. Why now? Sarah looked into his eyes. Because it's choosing. The weapon system was designed to merge with a single mind. It can't stay between us anymore. Kai stepped closer. Then let it choose. One last bond. Sarah placed her hand over Kai's heart. The glow from her body sensed with his. A wave of light spread between them. Their memories flashed. Childhood in the glass cell. His quiet life fixing machines. Her escape, his kindness, her fear, his touch. Then, silence. And in that moment, the ancient system made its choice. It flowed not into her, but into him. Kai transformed his body, shook. The light didn't burn him. It wrapped around him like armor, made of living metal and memory. The glowing lines formed patterns across his arms and chest. His eyes turned silver, but he didn't lose himself. It's okay, he said, surprised by his own calm. It's not fighting me. It's listening. Sarah stepped back, amazed. Why? Because I didn't want power, Kai said. I just wanted to protect you. The last defense above them, the enemy ship began to charge a massive beam. Colonists ran for cover. Alarm screamed. Fear spread. Kai looked to the sky. I think I know what to do. He raised his hand, and the armor responded. A shield of energy formed above the colony, stretching like a dome. The red beam struck moments later, but it didn't break through. The ground shook. Lights exploded, but the colony remained not safe, not the price. After the blast faded, Kai fell to one knee. The glow around him dimmed. The system inside him had taken all it could. Sarah rushed to him. Kai! Still here. He smiled, weak but alive. She touched his face, tears in her eyes. You saved all of us. No, he said. We did. Epilogue. A new beginning weeks later. The trackers never returned. The black ship vanished into deep space. The weapon system inside. Kai went quiet, but not gone. It stayed with him. Like a guardian that only wakes when truly needed. Sarah stayed. Not as a subject, not as a weapon, but as a person. She and Kai rebuilt the colony's tech systems together, using the alien knowledge hidden deep in her mind. And sometimes at night, they would sit under the star,